The end of an era, it's the end of a story. I think it was very important for them that they directed the last episode.
We've known that we wanted to direct the final episode since probably season 3 when we directed our first episode and really enjoyed the experience.
Our favorite part of working with them is that they listen to everybody and they listen to ideas. They might not always accept them, but their door is always open.
I just don't think they could give that episode to anyone else. I'm sure they've sort of been dreaming about the way the shots should look.
We've been working with these actors for so long now. We've been working with the great Jonathan Freeman, our DP, for so long, and our incredible editor, Katie. You know, we just have a team around us that we really trust, and we have a real shorthand with them. And the final hour or so, we just wanted to be the ones doing it.
Dan and David are such great collaborators, and they're very clear at what they want, and they're very clear what they don't want. So the process working with them was not only easy to like, but very easy.
So the battle was to try and figure out how to retain the style they wanted and at the same time work within the 9 days we were originally given to do Hard Home, which was an impossibility to do.
9 days for the battle?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like it was just there's a physical impossibility to achieve that in that time. That process led to having conversations with them where I had to simply say, I can't do this, but I can do this. And I learned that very quickly was the best way to approach them about anything, is if you go to them and say, I can't do this, they ignore you. And if you go to them and say, I can't do this, but I can do this, they listen because you're offering them an alternative.
Our favorite part of working with them is that they listen to everybody and they listen to ideas. They might not always accept them, but their door is always open.
Your character is one of the characters in the books who has point of view chapters. Once we got past the books in the show, when we've been past them for a while, did it change the way you had to approach playing the character?
It did actually, yeah. I mean, it changed my work, the way I approached it, because I like to plan. I like to know what comes next. I like to know, like, okay, I'm aiming for that, so I can go this way. So there's a. Dan and David, they're not having that. They're like, we're not telling you anything, and it was driving me crazy, because of course you can't stop imagining what will happen. So at the end of season, like at the end of season 6, when Jamie comes back and sees Cersei crowning herself, and finds out that Tommen is dead, that all the children are gone. In my mind, he would have to act immediately. So of course, and it's not something you want to do, but your mind just goes, shh, and that means I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that, okay. So you get the scripts, and of course it's completely different because they're great screenwriters. So they said, okay, no, we understand you want that, but we're going to wait. We're going to extend this whole thing through the whole season. So at the very end of the season, that's when he leaves. And I got into all these arguments and fights with the writers, and they're like, yeah, we hear you. Yeah, but please, you have to blah, 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 blah. And they go, yeah, we hear you, and we respect you, but we don't care. Okay, we don't, fuck. You're an actor, just say the words. They didn't say it like that, but that was kind of
that was the
gist of it.
Yeah,
just
we'll cut off your other hand.
And and the funny thing, we've gone through these song and dance routines every season since season 4, where I come back and I'm like, this doesn't make sense. I don't know how to do this. How do you do this? And they go, yeah, we hear you. Just try it.
Dan and David are such great collaborators, and they're very clear at what they want, and they're very clear what they don't want.
Our favorite part of working with them is that they listen to everybody and they listen to ideas. They might not always accept them, but their door is always open.
And I got into all these arguments and fights with the writers, and they're like, yeah, we hear you. Yeah, but please, you have to blah, 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 blah. And they go, yeah, we hear you, and we respect you, but we don't care. Okay, we don't, fuck. You're an actor, just say the words.
They listen to everybody and they listen to ideas. They might not always accept them, but their door is always open.
And they're like, yeah, we hear you. Yeah, but please, you have to blah, 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 blah. And they go, yeah, we hear you, and we respect you, but we don't care.
They listen to everybody and they listen to ideas. They might not always accept them, but their door is always open.
Is this a harder season than others?
By a long shot, yeah.
Way.
The schedule is impossible. The season is very big. It's written very big, but we have to, it's just all this business of trying to do, film finishes on a TV schedule and on a TV deadline, and I think this season we've certainly found the limit of what's able to be achieved. And insofar as I think now everybody realises that Game of Thrones has to finish because it just cannot get any bigger. You know, there are a lot of frayed nerves walking around, myself being one of them.
Episode 3 is a battle from start to finish and has 3 dialogue scenes in it, and that's it. Like if you took Battle of the Bastards into Hardhome to the loot train, if you put all those 3 together, that's probably the size of this episode.
I feel tired and cold, really not particularly in the mood to go and do a long 11 weeks of night shoots. I don't really want to spend 55 nights up. It's David and Dan's fault mainly, basically, because they wanted to do something bigger.
Today we're doing crypt whites. These whites are mummified. But we're a bit nervous about today because this is the first time we've done this style of white.
What are you nervous about?
That everybody likes them. They're doing a proper lighting test today, aren't they?
Do you believe so?
And David and Dan are coming.
David and Dan are here, so they will most likely be popping in, I'd imagine. Yeah.
I'm excited for these, though. I really hope everyone's going to like them.
I think David and Dan are about to come in.
Yes, go on ahead. Go on ahead.
I can't really tell what they think. I wanted a big round of applause. Can't really tell what they think.
What do you take from that in terms of good or...?
In terms of the makeups and things, I think they're happy. But we're going to send the pictures to Miguel. Miguel's going to make notes, go through them with David and Dan. And I think we're going to have a meeting at the end of the day tomorrow to run through all library and crypt. So, you know, but it wasn't a disaster.
And I learned that very quickly was the best way to approach them about anything, is if you go to them and say, I can't do this, they ignore you. And if you go to them and say, I can't do this, but I can do this, they listen because you're offering them an alternative.
Dan and David are such great collaborators, and they're very clear at what they want, and they're very clear what they don't want.
Our favorite part of working with them is that they listen to everybody and they listen to ideas. They might not always accept them, but their door is always open.
I started talking to Billy, and from the get-go it was, you know, we're all running around scrambling every day to find new houses. We need help from you guys. Start to cut people. These people aren't paying for the experience. Tell them not to come. And it was a constant battle because what they cared most about was the influencers. So I'm imploring them to cancel paying guests at this point. You know, they're not gonna have a place to stay. And the response from Billy was, we're not a problems-focused group, we're a solutions-oriented group. We need to have a positive attitude about this. We need to have a good attitude. And he was unflappable, but he was also entirely delusional. So it was this constant battle in my mind between, is this guy a genius or is he a madman? Because he just would not take no for an answer, and he would not take advice.
And where do you land now?
He's a liar.